Hi, my name is Phoebe and I really love flower hats. This was a flower hat that I made nearly a year ago because I used to be a children's party entertainer and a festival fairy, all-around professional fairy person. Even though I'm not in that specific job anymore, I still consider myself a fairy. But I made this flower hat for a specific event, pictures here, and ever since then people have been really interested in them and interested in seeing how I make them, interested in me making them for people, and I've made a few different flower hats for people in the past, people close to me, and I thought that today I would take you on a little journey to document my process and show you how I make said flower hat, even though each of them are very different and this one is nowhere close to the one that I'll be showing you today. Still, I thought it would be fun. It might not be the most informative because this is my first time kind of doing like strict tutorial type stuff, but I'm giving it my best go and it's going to be a little bit fun even if it's not that helpful. So thank you for watching. I hope you really enjoy it and I'll see you on the other side. So we are starting off with this funky purple shirt, op-shopped of course, and I always feel terrible whenever I op-shop shirts for projects because the counter ladies always compliment me on them and I feel way too embarrassed to say that I'm going to take them home and chop them up. I'm not going to wear them. But we are grabbing our petal pattern pieces and I traced out this little petal pattern piece on a piece of dino paper. And here's a little paper tracey thing with Mr. Pterodon, who watches you wherever you go. But basically I put this little indent at the top because I'm imagining a little rounded type petal situation. It starts here. Oh, you might be thinking, wow, that's way too long. This end part is designed to be flipped up. So it's gonna be right, do you see? We see the vision. I usually start by separating the pieces of the actual garment, like the actual seam lines, just because it makes it easier to cut the pattern pieces out. By the way, I undid all the little seams at the bottom. You have to do that before you start just ripping it apart, otherwise you're gonna just tear straight through the fabric. So I'm using my pattern pieces to cut out my petals. Usually you would need two pattern pieces for each petal, but this stuff like already has like this beautiful shiny back to it. Like there's a suede soft part on the front and then this satiny shiny back. So I think I'm just gonna serge around the edge and then fold it over 2 times and then just like keep the back on it because honestly it looks fine. And if you're going to stick around for a while, you need to be introduced to Jimmy. This is my cutest boy, one of my cutest boys. I have 2, so I can't really say that. But he is one of them, and they're brothers. And Jimmy loves to be very invested in all of my sewing projects. So you will be seeing a lot of him in all of my clips where I'm trying to do things. Turns out that you do need lining fabric. Not lining fabric, backing fabric. I needed other fabric. Because yeah, my original plan was to just fold it over, but the problem is that once you get to here, that becomes virtually impossible without there being lots of crinkles, and I'm trying to be professional. So yeah, I got some cheap like $2 a meter purple fabric from Spotlight. Does the job. Now I'm just tracing and cutting some more of the petals, and then I'm gonna sew them together on the sewing machine after I serge around the backing pieces as well. And then we'll sew them together, put the, what's it called? Put the wire in, and then see where we're at. Jim. Alrighty, so we are pinning the 2 sides together. So we've got the soft side. Oh, I'm doing it the wrong way. I was really torn because both sides of this fabric is really cool. Like this side is this shiny stuff and this side is like this soft, like stuff that actually reminds me of like the softness of a petal. And I didn't know which one to do, but I think I'm doing the soft side. I've made one little sample petal and yeah, I think that's what we're doing. I don't know, there's just something about the soft that's just like very delicate and yeah, sweet. I don't know. I feel like this, even though it looks really cool, it kind of looks a bit cheap. I don't know. Anyway, we're taking the two sides. Did I unpin it all? Oh, of course I did. We're taking the two sides, putting them together. I saw these cute little pegs online. I saw some trendy, cool sewing people using them, and they're super cute. They're not that great, the projects, at least in my opinion. Maybe I'm using them wrong. I know they're not just for sewing, but sewing pins a little bit more versatile, a little bit more stabby, also a little bit more versatile. But yeah, we're putting around, we're sewing it, and then we're adding some wire so that it can be a cute little flicky up. You get it. The wire I use is just like this stuff, like the craft store wire that's like super easy to bend. It's bad for being sturdy. It's great for doing this kind of thing if you want it to be opposable. Yeah, with my original flower hat, can you see him? Skeleton in the back, he's wearing him. Yeah, with my original flower hat, I just fold it up for like easy travel with this wire, which is great. Anyway, I'm rambling. Pin it up, sew it, and we're gonna stick the wire in.
And that's exactly what we're doing. We're sewing it up, as you can see, adding some notches in the top of the top curvature of the petal so that it can be turned inside out a little bit more easier and have that sharp top rounded edge. Grab an appropriately shaped wire and shove it in there, and then find the only good use for these pegs, really, which is keeping the wire in place, which you could do that with pins as well, but I don't know, the pegs just, it seemed like it made sense. And now with extremely limited footage, because at this point I was really just forgetting to record any of it. Watch me make these leaves for the top with this kind of gross looking colored fabric that I got from another shirt from an op shop, and this other cooler looking fabric that I got from a shirt from an op shop. You pin them together and somehow it creates leafy fairy magic. It looked really cool once I sewed it all together, and what really seals the deal is when you add some veining with some extra stitches. That shit really seals the deal. But before I could add it on, I made my own hat base, which of course I also forgot to record any of that. But yeah, I did one final check before adding on the leaves. And don't ask me about the stem because you guessed it, I also forgot to record making that. I am really getting used to this process of recording my creations and not just like mindlessly zoning out and listening to horror podcasts while making them, so bear with me. But here's me trying to explain it as best I can without having any footage at all.
I made the stem also before I sewed on the leaves. And basically I just took a lot of like thick fabric scraps out of my scraps pile and sewed them all together into a thing. So this is literally nothing but just like stiff fabric, and then I sewed it into this shape. And then over the top of it, I just hand sewed on some of this super cool stretchy stripy green t-shirt fabric. We are prime early morning because I wanted to get this done last night but ran out of time. So here we are in the morning before work. And she's looking really cute, gonna be honest. I love this vibe that we went for. I've been in constant communication with the customer. It sounds so fancy. But yeah, we went for like this really cool like textured stripy fabric, which I found from this cool shirt. And the leaves, we put wire in the leaves. Oh, look at that. Yeah. So she's nearly done. I even made my own hat base for once, which we'll see how that goes. I don't know whether that'll be any good. But guys, I have a scarf on, that's why it fell off, not because it's too small.
And now a little bit of a finicky part, hand sewing the leaves onto the stem and onto the top of the hat, because you really can't machine sew this. It's really quite thick and bulbous and it won't fit in a machine. So you just have to get like tiny little finger calluses as you attempt to sew it to the stem, but also sew the leaves to each other, because you don't want them flopping around. I was going to leave them free to the wind, but it annoyed me how much they would flippy flopping around. But isn't she so cute? I think it really gives the inspiration flower. And here I go again, not having the content creation brain quite installed yet. The update is up and coming, because I didn't actually film like a end hat result type thing. I have photos of my of the person that I made it for wearing it, and they look so cute. I was going to put my little purple dress on and wear my hat and prance around the little field and be a little fairy, but that didn't quite happen. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed these photos of the lovely Tanya wearing my hat. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope that I can see you again soon. I'm hoping to make a lot more videos. So thank you. I'm Bees Bitty Bobs on Instagram, Bees Bitty Bobs on Depop, and this if you're on YouTube. So thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.